Project Hail Mary is a science fiction masterpiece. It's the best sci-fi book I've read in my whole life, hands down. If you loved Interstellar, The Martian, and Astra, or First Man, this is a book you need to read. This is my one-sentence summary. A scientist without his memory wakes up on a spaceship surrounded by his dead crewmates, and he needs to figure out how he got there and what the mission is in a quest to save humanity from an extinction-level threat. This novel has such an original premise rooted in very high concept scientific ideas, but it is expressed in such a way that is very accessible for any kind of reader to enjoy. Just like The Martian, there's a lot of complex science going on, but it is presented in such a way that it's easy to understand, easy to follow, and it makes sense. It drives the plot forward. It's not just an afterthought. The Wall Street Journal praised it as a joy to read, one of the most original and compelling tales to come along in years. So you've heard my one-sentence summary. Now here is a spoiler-free summary or synopsis of what happens. So our protagonist is Ryland Grace. He wakes up on a spaceship with no memory of how he got there or what his mission is. All he knows is that he is millions of miles away from home and that his crew is dead. He eventually figures out that he is a science teacher, but he cannot comprehend why a science teacher is on a critical mission like this. As the story progresses, it reveals more and more about how humanity got to this point, what this extinction level threat is, and why he needs to travel light years away to save Earth. It's an absolute page turner. You're gonna love this. Now, what makes this book special is that it has a lot of emotional depth. I mean, I was skeptical when I started reading because it's just one guy by himself on a spaceship with his crew dead around him, and I was doubtful about how emotional it could be, but it honestly is a little bit of a tearjerker as well, so be prepared for that. So there's plenty of science jargon and science stuff explained as well, but it is introduced in the plot in such a way that it's easy to follow and enjoyable to read. I felt smarter coming out of reading this book, and I pride myself in being a space nerd, so a lot of the stuff I already knew, but there was a lot of new stuff that I learned as well. And also some, speculative science fiction elements, which I absolutely gobbled up. Almost each chapter ends on a cliffhanger, which will have you turning the page all night. I devoured this book in, I think, 3 days, if I'm being honest. I had to finish it. I had to see how it ended. And there were so many twists and turns, successes and failures along the way, that it was such a relatable and honestly realistic story as well. So that's my book review. 10 out of 10. The best science fiction book I've read. Project Hail Mary is a must read for lovers of science fiction, space exploration, or other survival stories as well. And I don't know if you know this, I only found this out recently, but they are making this book into a movie. It's coming out next year, 2026. Project Hail Mary is becoming a movie. They actually finished filming just a few weeks ago. When I saw a tweet about that, I was like, oh my goodness, I need this film to come out right now. I love this book so much, and I'm so hopeful to see this movie come out and, deliver on the promise of this story. It is so good and it deserves a great movie. I am very hopeful because it's got Ryan Gosling starring as Ryland Grace. And if you watched First Man, he's very good at acting in science movies as an astronaut. So I have very high hopes and very high expectations for this movie. So that's my book review for the day. Definitely go read it. I'll leave a link to the book in my description. It is an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything more to buy this book. It just helps support this channel and keep growing. I'll also just plug my own little book here. It's my upcoming novella called We Were Here First. I'm going to put it up somewhere here on the screen. And it's an alternative history space thriller set in 1981. The crew of Artemis 2 are traveling to the moon to establish the first permanent human base there. But things go south very quickly when they try to land. They land far off target, and in their quest for survival, they discover something that might change the history books forever. And whether or not that happens is up to whether they decide to share what they find with the rest of the world. I didn't make it sound very interesting now, but I promise you it is good. You'll like it. So sign up to my newsletter on my site, mosquitomusings.com. It's absolutely free. I send you the first chapter of my upcoming novel, The Winds of the Wild Coast, for free, and I'll update you on my novella. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!